What's up, everybody? Welcome to the House of Mario, the South Australian Nintendo podcast that is backed by a 120 Power Star rating. I'm your host, Drew Agnew, and the doors to episode 153 are open. This week on the show, we've got a small amount of news, not too much to talk about, but we're going to have some fun with one another. And that other person I'm going to have some fun with is my soulmate, the hippopotamus of the future, Bryce DeWitt. I don't know.
The hippopotamus of the future.
I don't even know what that means. Do you reckon you could elaborate on that, or you got,
Well, you see, in the year 2050, things are pretty grim, There's been nuclear wars. Donald Trump has started a war with China, maybe about 20 years ago, maybe about 25. It's hard. You lose count, in these times. A nuclear winter happened, and the only thing that survived were the hippopotamus.
Yes.
And now the thing is scientists were dying out, so they're like, how can we get human souls in this hippopotamus? And they managed to figure out a way using a special kind of, bug that takes over the host's body, and then developing a drug in which they can take over the bug's body, and then you do that vice versa with the hippo, and now I'm a hippo.
Wow. Well, that's great.
It's incredible.
It is incredible. Wow. Yeah. I thought I was just making up shit, but I've obviously stumbled across something very, very important here.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. That's what you get. Future hippo.
Future hippo.
Future hippo. Do. Fighting crime. Saving the day.
Yeah.
Future hippo will come your way.
So you have been away for the weekend, Bryce. How was your weekend with the family in Robe?
That was all right.
Right.
Yeah, just chilling.
Get up too much?
Not really. No. And I think that was probably the case for most of us. We were just tired and wanted a break. I mean, we were there for my mother-in-law's 50th. So happy birthday to Kerry. Happy birthday to Kerry. You're on the House of Mario. You're never going to hear this anyway. Yay! Anyway, yeah. So we were there for her 50th, and we just bummed around and looked around Robe and had a very expensive dinner. And yeah, the whole table's meal was worth about $405.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a very expensive dinner. I think for the family, I paid. We have maybe about 150 of that 450. It's a lot of money. I don't even want to think about it.
You're going to do that every single weekend? Just go out, have a...
Oh, Jesus Christ, no.
That's the thing. When you go out with two kids and two of you guys, let alone everyone else, it adds up pretty quick.
Yeah, that and picking a restaurant that sort of they get their catch off the boat that day, and, you sort of, I suppose, expect to pay that much. But the other thing is I suppose, is we didn't go very far because coronavirus, and
that old chestnut,
that old chestnut, and that old chestnut, the grinder. So I've been to where we were before. Last time we did anything elaborate like this was actually last year, and we just went to Port Fairy, which was nice. Never been there. I'm gonna have a wander and just check out the place and. Just have fun. That's kind of what it was. And here with Robe, I've always had some sort of interaction with Robe through my life, mostly when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So, but it's a lovely town. I can't knock that back. I saw our old friend Jack.
Yeah.
At the Union.
Yeah, I see. He crashed his car didn't crash his car, but he ran into a kangaroo that weekend coming from Beachboard as well.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh,
because he was working at the pub, and on the way home he hit a kangaroo, so he didn't want to work there anymore. He's
so he's done.
Yeah, he's done already, only after a couple of weeks.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, he does I popped in and I was like, yeah, you know what? the first thing I did when I went into Robe, because we were waiting to get the keys for this house, or whatever, I'm like, I'll go stop by the Union. We'll go have breakfast there because support people that you've had in your life. He obviously worked with us for a little bit there, and so I popped in and went and had $60 worth of breakfast, and and said hello to him.
Throwing that money around the town, bros.
Well, yeah, but the thing is it's Robe, and I think we all know. Well, the people who have ever been to Robe pretty much know what to expect from Robe. It's not a cheap place to be, and it's very much a holiday town, much like Beachport, I guess. But I think it's probably a bit more on the developed side, which is what makes it a bit more expensive. But yeah, so I did that, and I said to the lady behind the counter, "Hey, is Jack in today?" She's like, "Yes. Would you like to see him?" I'm like, "Yes, please. Who's asking?" Bryce. And anyway, had a quick chat with Jack and just said, "How's the business going?" and stuff, and that was good. That's the only thing that I was really like gung ho. I should do that, because I've been saying I would do it ever since he got the goddamn cafe. And I hadn't done it yet.
I've been saying that for the last 2 years as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it was sort of like, I better go in and say hello, So did that, and I'm happy I did it. He seems like it's going well. I talk to his father-in-law all the time, so I always know how the cafe's doing. But his business is really booming for him, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even this weekend in the middle of winter, when you think nobody would be there was plenty of people eating there.
Yeah,
so that's really good.
It's pretty busy at Beachport too. I was only working the whole weekend, but. Yeah, so it doesn't really feel like the weekend.
People getting their last hurrah before everything sort of happened. And like, I don't know if you saw earlier.
I did.
On Twitter, yeah.
Oh, I don't know about Twitter. I'm just talking about how the rules are reverting back to what they were, where people have to sit down having a drink and that again in South Australia.
I've actually started wearing a mask when I go to the shop now because there was that Victorian girl that lied on her her forms and went to Kingston, and she's passed it on to some 50-year-old fella, and they haven't disclosed the location of where he lives. So we don't know if he's in Millicent or Kingston, and he didn't get tested until 5 days after he last made contact with us. So God knows where he's been, if he's done whatever. So I'm going into full nope mode and mask on. Bugger that.
So I'm like thinking about going to get a mask before there's a big run on them when everyone needs one.
Oh well, it's already happening, because of Melbourne. I've just got like a couple of those flimsy hospital grade masks. I'll get a decent one and just roll with it after that and just see how it goes. But I think in a couple of weeks anyway, we're all probably going to be locked down. Obviously, the SA Premier said, let's get ahead of the curve before it actually causes any trouble with the new cases today. And like you said, reverted some of the rules, but I don't think it's going to be that easy, and I think we'll have a bit of trouble before then. So
I feel a bit silly because last episode with Tam on, like I introduced the show and I just asked him like how he's going. He said, "Oh yeah, no, it's pretty good here," because he's in rural Victoria.
Yeah.
And he's, "Oh yeah, it's all good here." Then the morning of the episode going up, then that's when the rules came in that everyone Victoria wide has to now wear masks.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh right." So it's already aged in that respect.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Got a nice vanilla Coke there.
Yeah, vanilla Coke. I had a couple chucked in the esky. I was like, all right, cool. Didn't get through all of them, so I'm like, I'll bring one to the show so I can have a gulp.
Gulp? Yeah, you've got to have a gulp here and there, don't you?
That's right, yeah.
So I guess you and Robe and we were playing some Pokemon Go over the weekend thanks to the new remote raiding feature.
That we did. Yeah, the more expansive remote raid feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you been sort of enjoying yourself going in and out of Pokemon Go, and have you gotten more into it recently with that feature being introduced?
Yeah, look, the thing is when people most likely want to do raids, it's at night time, and to be completely honest, that's not handy for a good select amount of people that don't have that amount of free time on their hands. So to be able to just go, can you please invite me and participate? That's good, And caught a bunch of Pokemon over the weekend. Got a shiny Trapinch in the first hour.
You did. Oh, cool.
Haven't got anything since. Unfortunately, it was a shit one. So Yeah, that sucks.
It was a shit one.
It was a shit one.
But it was a shiny one.
0 or 1 star, one of the two. Yeah. Yeah, but it's also, like 125 candies to evolve that thing. So it's like, do I waste my candy on that, or do I
just do a good one?
Just do a good one. Yeah. And then just wait until the week is over, and if I find a better one, it might work out. But, it's not boosted rates or anything like that, so...
Yeah, I haven't got any shinies in Dragon Week like this week. I got a few in GoFest. I got like a shiny Snova, but all of my shinies in that event too were like 0 star. I'm like, oh come on. Yeah, it's just so heartbreaking when you get one. It's like, oh shit.
Well, that was heartbreaking with the C Dot Community Day. C Dot Community Day. I think I got 7 shiny C Dot, and none of them were good.
Yeah,
and I'm like, and then like I looked at my my stash of candies the other day. Because I was like, oh, well, I might as well pop a lucky egg and get some experience. So, I looked at my stash of candies. I'm like, 550 C-Dot candies. Well, I guess I can evolve some of these shiny ones.
Yep.
And, you just got a couple of them kicking around.
Yeah, with a C-Dot community day, I went out and I smashed it pretty hard. And I had over 1,000 C-Dot candies. And I did I evolved the main ones I wanted, the shiny ones I wanted, and I evolved the other ones just into Nuzleaf, just to have each form.
Yeah.
And I evolved just a shit ton into Nuzleaf just for the experience. Just evolved as many as I could with the lucky egg going in the background.
Yeah.
So now I've got no C-Dot candy. But.
And I don't know how it is, but you said the other day you got that shiny Eevee.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
From the research task.
Mm-hmm.
Not long after you, I managed to get that shiny Eevee.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know how I managed to catch up with you in that research task. At all, so quickly.
No, I wasn't really doing it that much. I was just
I wasn't either.
Yeah.
It's weird because the level discrepancy between me and you now is quite big. So I was like, oh, well, I'm like, oh, shiny Eevee.
Yeah.
I guess.
Every now and again, I get caught on a real hard one. For example, I've got Evolve Gyarados on one of my research tasks.
Oh, I hate that one.
Yeah, I've caught Gyarados because they were spawning at one point. We actually went running around town after work for these bloody Gyarados.
Yeah.
But this weekend is actually community day for Magikarp. So
is it?
So, yes. So this Saturday we'll finally be able to tick it off. The only issue is that Friday, the day before, is when I'm getting my wisdom teeth out.
Oh.
So, am I going to be up and going on the couch with my phone with an incense going? I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of hope I am because this is my chance to evolve Gyarados. So I don't know.
It depends on how much they have to hit you with, because my experience with that was I was out for 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
But you know what? Wait, is it this weekend or next weekend?
I believe it's the 8th, so it is this weekend because my teeth come out on the 7th.
Yeah, okay. Cool. All right then. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
That's good. I'll be able to do that then and get me some shiny Magikarp. That'll be nice. Because I don't work this Saturday, so that works for me. Yeah.
You'll be getting around town, just smacking all those Magikarp into your balls.
Don't be ridiculous. I won't be doing that. I'll just be chucking on an incense, so there's no point.
Yeah.
Because I don't know whether Beachport's going to want me either. So.
No, they won't want you.
Well, if you're out for the count.
I'm out for the count.
If you're out for the count, probably.
I am,
yeah.
Yeah, well. So I don't know. The day after, we'll see how I go. You'll have to come over and catch the Magikarp for me. I don't know. Bryce, come over. I need your help.
Please throw these Pokeballs for me. I'm useless.
Oh. I am a little bit nervous about it. I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast, but I was meant to get my wisdom teeth out last year.
Yeah.
And I was up ready to go to the hospital. 15 minutes before I was going to get into the car, I get a phone call saying that my dentist or surgeon had his he was trying to jumpstart his car and he's pushing his car and it ran over his foot and broke his foot. So he couldn't do a surgery that day. I'm like, right. And I had soccer off, I had work off, had everything off. So I'm just there all right. Literally, I've got nothing planned. It's the first time in my life. Even if you have a quiet weekend, you're just going to be all right, this weekend I'm just going to watch some Netflix and maybe catch up on this video game or whatever.
Yeah.
But didn't even have that. I'm like, fuck. All right.
There goes everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Yeah, I didn't ring up work or anything. So, oh no, I can actually work. I'm like, no, fuck it. I'm just laying low. Staying here.
Yeah, you take it while you can get it. Like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, well, I guess I'm not getting my wisdom teeth done. Oops, I forgot the cool work.
Oh, well. And the soccer team, just like, whatever. Week off that too.
Sorry, boys, I'm off.
And that is like one of the positive things about maybe getting my teeth out, because apart from like a couple of days, I haven't really had a day off. So this is like just forced time. Like, all right, no, I can't go to work. I couldn't possibly go to work.
Yeah.
Even like a week after, I'm still a bit sore.
I can't talk.
Yeah, I guess that's another thing too. You're going to be running the podcast for the next episode too.
That's true.
Yeah. So have you thought about that?
Oh, briefly. I'm sure I'll be fine. And with the way things are going the last, you know, at least this week and the week prior, there hasn't been a shit ton of news to keep up with. It's mainly leak stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like the giggle leak that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And like, to be honest, I'm neither here nor there about it, because a lot of it is visual. Some of it is uncompressed audio and stuff like that. So talking about it on the podcast was like, now you can see this design of this slender Yoshi looks more like a snake than he does a dinosaur. What do you think about that? And it's like, yeah.
It's all just like interesting
Cool.
little tidbits that's it's going to be like just interesting information to be put into the history books.
Yeah, but it does compromise some of their like private work chats and stuff too, though, which is a bit iffy.
Yeah, so all of that stuff's like,
Yeah, that's a bit too far, fellas. Yeah. You know,
like I described it last week. It's like someone comes to your house, takes your diary, and just posts it all over like online.
Yeah,
It's like it's not great,
no,
but
it's not cool.
Yeah.
No,
but it is interesting information nevertheless. Maybe not like the personal stuff, but just like, hey, this is what maybe Yoshi might have looked like in Mario World. Like, that is interesting stuff.
Yeah, he looks like Gex.
Yeah. Yeah, he actually does, yeah. Yeah. Some of my favourite stuff was the Pokemon sprites, where they just like, it was like the very first draft, like, just slap it onto the
Beta Arceus, everybody's favourite new Pokemon.
Yeah, yeah. Even like Reggie Gigas, it's just like, what the hell is this?
Nose pass.
Yeah, nose pass. Like, I could have
pass.
drew some of those.
Probopass just makes me laugh.
Yeah, it's just like nose.
The position it's in is like that chat, the side on Chad meme that everybody's been posting. It's like, yes. Looks exactly like that.
Oh, it does too.
And it's like, yes. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. So I honestly haven't been playing my Switch much. Like over the weekend, I was working, came home and sort of just did my thing, went to bed like a normal weeknight. So, what about you? You picked up your Switch much sort of the last week?
Yeah, no, not really.
Yeah, no.
Not really, no, because the thing is before I left for Robe, I had a lot of stacked up work to do. And now that I'm back, like the first 3 days of me being back are like podcast tonight. And I drove home today, but podcast tonight. Tomorrow I got to work, and then we've got another podcast tomorrow. And then the next day is work and look after the kids. And then the next day after that is work. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm straight back into it. No stopping. Yeah, so I haven't really had the time to pick it up and go, yes, I will dedicate this time to my Switch, and that will be it. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Apart from that, yeah.
Even sort of when I get home, I'm sort of like thinking about some like other creative stuff I want to get going. So
yeah,
even that's like sort of just more brain power, I guess. Like, I'm not really stopping, but it's all stuff I like, so it's not too bad. It's not just going out sharing all the time or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You give yourself a bit of a mental break from that thing. Yeah.
I must admit though, but today I did pick up the Switch just to check the eShop, see what's on sale. Because that's just a fun, relaxing thing I tend to do instead of playing an actual video game.
Yeah, having a scroll.
Yeah, and it was just nice to pick it up, and I'm like, I tell you what, after the podcast, I need to play it. But that might be like 1 o'clock in the morning, so I don't know if that will be happening either.
Yeah. Where is Chantel, actually?
Chantel, she's actually gone out to, she's covering for someone in the basketball game, so she's playing basketball.
Oh, right. Well, there you go. Yeah. And I was like, oh, where's Chantel? That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not on the podcast tonight, and she can talk about
Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
Mate, what do you think about Mario Hoops Round 3? So what the fuck are you dumb boys on about? Oh.
3-on-3.
I like how we put that into everyone's head that listened to whatever episode that was.
Such a forgotten game, but so good.
It was a very good game.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I just wish they did it. Do it justice again and make a new one that's,
good,
dope as hell.
Yeah.
Not from Sports Mix.
Oh, no. I know. I'm aware.
Good, mate.
Yeah.
Good.
So would you like to jump into the news, Bryce?
You know what? We'll go for it.
Yeah, why not? Just something different.
Woohoo! Yeah! Pika, pika! Is that all?
I fight for my friends!
My body is still.
All right, Bryce, to start things off, this is one from My Nintendo News. And the title is, a Nintendo Switch version of No More Heroes has been rated in Taiwan.
Oh, beautiful.
Ooh. Bit of a cheeky rating for you. So the Taiwan Digital Game Rating Committee has rated a Nintendo Switch version of No More Heroes. The game was released on the Wii in 2007, which was 13 years ago. And the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 received a remastered version of the game in April 2010. It is unknown when and where this will be officially announced. It is also unknown if it will be the original Wii version or the 2010 remaster.
Probably the remaster.
Yeah, I would assume so as well.
Yeah, it'd be a bit weird if it wasn't.
It's just like, here's the Wii version. Just like, I can't see it.
Disgusting.
Yeah. But like any of sort of the sequels coming out, whether it's Metroid Prime or whatever it is, it just makes sense that the previous versions would get a port over when No More Heroes 3's coming out maybe this year or early next year.
Yeah.
So it was a really fun game too. So I'm happy to sort of maybe give it a go depending on the pricing on Switch.
Yeah, hopefully it's not another Burnout Paradise.
Yeah. Well, Burnout Paradise was all right. It's just you've got to mortgage your home for it.
Yeah. EA wants your soul. So
Well,
that's to be expected.
Well, they can have my soul. There's not much left. So next up, Bryce, this is from Nintendo Enthusiast, and the title is High Score is a Netflix documentary series about the golden age of games. And the article reads, Netflix isn't just making TV or film adaptations of every video game under the sun. It's also releasing documentaries about video games. High Score is a 6-episode Netflix documentary premiering on Wednesday, August 19th, about the golden age of video games and revolutionary stages of gaming. Explicit topics for each episode in the series haven't been specified, but Nintendo, Sega, Space Invaders, Final Fantasy, Street Fighter II, Mortal Kombat, Sonic the Hedgehog, Madden NFL, Pac-Man, and Doom are all credited in promotional materials. High Score will recount the stories of computer pioneers and visionary artists that threw themselves into their passion to create innovative franchises above. Judging from the variety of promotional images released, some of which we've included below, it seems there will be a healthy mix of influential Western and Eastern developers. I confess to not... Oh, that's just something from the author. So that's basically what we need. So, a brand new documentary coming to Netflix, which goes behind the scenes of some of the game series we love and some of the makings of everything. It'll be pretty cool. I only found out about this sort of rounding up the news for tonight's episode, but coming on August 19th, which should be pretty soon. Hopefully here in Australia we do get this as well. It's not just a US thing or wherever.
Which tends to happen a lot.
Which tends to happen.
Yeah.
Because, Pokemon Journeys just never... I sort of waited for it to drop and it just never happened. I'm like, oh, guess we're not getting that.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
All right. Sweet.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. So just from sort of what I said, does that sound like an interesting thing to you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like I've watched something similar before, but on pay-to-air TV.
Pay-to-air.
Yeah. Like Ostar and that.
Mm.
It would have been a fair while ago now, but yeah. I guess if it's like something that's updated with more info and stuff like that, I'll probably give it a watch.
I mean, there is like already stuff out there like this, like the indie game movie, which came out in like 2010 or something. stuff like that. I just find it really interesting. Just look behind the scenes of some like big games that have come out in the past.
Now, look, if you really want an accurate history of what the video games and a movie like scenario, just go watch Pixels with Adam Sandler. You know, you get to see the creator of Pac-Man get his arm bitten off by Pac-Man. Beautiful.
That scene in that movie actually did make me laugh. It was actually pretty funny.
My son. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, like I know that like a lot of Adam Sandler movies cop a lot of shit, and you know, rightfully so. Maybe the last few years, but I you know, for what it's worth, Pixels was okay.
I think the problem with Adam Sandler stuff more or less is just everybody's got their head stuck in Billy Madison.
Yeah,
you know, the last thing that most people look at and go, yeah, that was a good movie, was probably Click.
Yeah.
And then after that, you know, they just don't know how to feel about his movies. But, you know, he seems like a genuinely all right guy. So,
he does, yeah.
You know, he's just made some questionable movies.
Yeah.
You know?
And speaking of Netflix, I guess Adam Sandler, he typically just makes Netflix exclusive films now. They seem to be funding him as far as his more recent stuff goes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he still has his company, surely.
Yeah, I don't know.
Happy Madison?
I mean, he probably does. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on Adam Sandler.
No. Should be.
I know.
You're on a video game podcast and you don't even quote Pixels quotes, so...
I'm fucking rubbish, aren't I? So just sticking with the tradition of Netflix movies and video game movies coming together, this is also from Nintendo Enthusiast, and the title is Beyond Good and Evil Netflix Movies Coming from Detective Pikachu Director. And the article reads, yesterday regarding Ubisoft's Splinter Cell adult animated series, I joked we could write a headline that every video game is getting a film/TV adaptation, and that they've almost all heading to Netflix. Well, following up on that, a Good and Evil movie is heading to Netflix from Pokémon Detective Pikachu and Goosebumps director Rob Letterman. The announcement comes via The Hollywood Reporter, which describes the film as a hybrid live action/animated feature, which sounds much like Detective Pikachu. Beyond Good and Evil was a cult hit 2003 adventure game that enjoyed a positive reception. In order to unravel the conspiracy, players had to engage in a stealth puzzle solving and photography. Fans clamored for a sequel for years afterward, and finally confirmed that the prequel was in development only a few years ago. So, also a Beyond Good and Evil movie from Rob Letterman, who was the director of Detective Pikachu.
I'll be honest, like, I almost expected this to be like an Adi Shankar thing, because if there's anybody they like handing off animated video game things to, it's Adi Shankar. That's pretty much like the only person that does them.
Yeah, well, not this time.
Adi, what are you doing, mate? Adi Shankar, you got to be on your game, mate. I know he's doing Devil May Cry next.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, because there's already an anime of Devil May Cry.
Yeah, true. I guess it's a little bit older now, so
I feel, I don't know. I feel like, not that it would be bad. I would actually argue it would be very inherently good, considering how well Castlevania has turned out.
I reckon the Devil May Cry anime is going to be really good.
Yeah. Well, if it's anything like Castlevania, absolutely. Castlevania, like even up until the newest season recently, oh my god, such a good show. It's really, really good. I actually enjoyed the shit out of it. So, yeah. Hopefully he does that one a smash hit.
Hopefully he does it a smash hit.
And hopefully they give more series to Shankar to do if he keeps doing them like as well as that. Yeah.
So next up is from Vooks.net, and the title is Here's How Animal Crossing's New Island Backup Feature Works. So Bryce, strap yourself in, because this is a
doozy,
a classic Nintendo head scratcher.
Oh, great!
Yeah,
never had to use it. Probably never will. So. Here we
go.
go.
Well, hopefully not. So the article reads, the second wave of Animal Crossing New Horizons Summer app update went live today, bringing the game to 1.4.0 alongside with new Fireworks Festival event and the reintroduction of the Dream Suite feature. The update brought something fans could have been waiting for since the game launched: cloud saves. Nintendo calls the feature Island Backup, which already exists separately from the cloud save backups that were provided almost every other game on the console, except for Pokemon and Splatoon, which is annoying.
And anything competitive.
Yeah. Like Animal Crossing, very competitive out there. In order to enable the island backup, you'll have to talk to Tom Nook on the title screen by pressing the minus button and telling him you'd like to back up your data. After a brief moment of connecting to the internet, he will then tell you your saved data will be automatically backed up in the background whenever nobody's playing the game. Restoring data is a little bit more complicated, and it comes with a pretty big caveat. Nintendo says that you can only restore your data if your console has been lost, stolen, or damaged, and that you'll have to contact Nintendo support in your region to restore your island.
Ugh.
See, all I can hear is folding paper because you're just like folding up a paper plane.
That's fine. Keep talking.
Do I have to turn down your microphone? Well,
Just keep talking, all right?
Vooks can confirm after righteous testing that you cannot restore your island without first contacting Nintendo support. If you've done this, you can access the restore option by holding the minus button after you see the black Nintendo screen when launching the game. It must be done with a fresh copy of Animal Crossing New Horizons, version 1.4.0. If you have any saved data at all, or on a lower version, the menu won't simply load. You also have to be using the same account as the one that enabled the island backup, and the account will need to have Nintendo Switch Online. According to a Nintendo Australia support page, once these conditions are met, you'll simply have to search for the island, select the correct island, and download it, restoring your island to its former glory. So we'll end the article here. If you want to read more, we'll link this article by Vooks.net in the show notes. But yeah, I mean, it's just more complicated than it ever had to be.
Do you have a feeling that this will just get broken?
Hopefully, because this, having to actually contact Nintendo and just actually the rest of the article actually goes on to say that like Nintendo Australia, because of COVID-19, their sort of support is down. So you basically have to like send in an email or a bit of a request that way.
Right.
And other companies or other countries that have Nintendo support, that might be down as well. So if you're looking to like, all right, my Switch actually broke, and I don't want to lose my Animal Crossing because I've been playing it all of quarantine, and I've just like put 400 hours into it. I just want to restore my goddamn save, which I upload to the internet. It might be a real pain in the ass. And even if it's like real easy, you ring them up, they say, "Yep, all good." Then you go to your Switch and you download it. It's kind of like still kind of like frustrating. That's even
I mean, look, I think
in the way.
The thing is that, and everybody agrees with it, so I don't have to delve into it too much. But cloud saving, right? That's the reason cloud saving was made, was for games like these that have stupid amounts of hours of progress, and you're like, I really, really don't want to lose all of that.
No.
And it should just be done, solved. Yes, you've got your cloud saving. And now they're pissed off about people hacking their dream worlds and shit.
Mm-hmm.
With like star fragments on the trees and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like they reintroduced that feature pretty much in full, so why the fuck does this have to suffer so bad?
Yeah, especially since hackers have already like really broken that game apart too. Like, there's no stopping it. This is just like someone like me. I'm not going to time travel. I'm not going to hack. Like, that just takes the fun out of the game. But I don't want to lose my save data either because my Switch got corrupted or whatever the case was.
Yeah, which has happened.
Yeah,
so it's even more infuriating. I just don't get it.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks, lads. You're doing a good job over there, creating a system that puts pressure on your internal staff, having to restore everybody's worlds manually.
Yeah, that sounds like, just think about the wages that alone that they have to pay just to go, all right, yep, I believe you. Your Switch is broken.
It's like, here is a picture of my Switch that I dropped in the toilet and threw at a wall. As you can see, it is clearly broken. Can I please have my world back? And then they're like, yes, just give me a minute. But in the meantime, why the fuck did you do it?
Hang on, mate. Why did you throw your Nintendo Switch in the toilet?
Were you unsatisfied with your Switch? Is that why?
Yes, well, I actually wanted to do a poo on it.
I really felt like taking a nice turd on my Switch. It didn't work out for me.
No, not at all. So moving on, Bryce. This is from My Nintendo News by the way of GameXplain. And the title is Platinum Games shares info on a number of their games. So the article reads, GameXplain recently had the chance to sit down with Kamaya and Inaba from the mighty development powerhouse Platinum Games. The chat delved into a number of topics, including the likelihood of Star Fox Zero being ported to the Nintendo Switch and how Bayonetta 3's development is coming along. So just a few dot points from the information. If you would like to go and check out the interview on GameXplain's website or YouTube channel, it will be in the show notes if you want to go and check that out. But the dot points, basically the pull from is Inaba said that there's never been a day where they didn't want to do a sequel to the wonderful 101. He says it would be nice if the day came they could make a sequel, but it would be a challenge. Platinum is interested in working with Nintendo in the future again. Bayonetta 3 development is, quote, going fine. No conversations have happened with Platinum about porting Star Fox Zero to Switch. Due to the fan reaction to the dog in Project GG, there might be an expanded role for the dog in the full game. Kamea would love to see Adamitsu added to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess just off the last one, Okami is one of my favorite games, so I would love to see Adamitsu in Smash. It'd be awesome to see that.
For sure. There you go.
Fuck. Just folds up a paper plane and just throws it.
That was the whole purpose of that. I saw that and I was a little bit confused at first because the way the article read that I saw it on was like, did Amadaros get announced for Smash? Like, what is going on here? Then I delve further into it. I'm like, oh, no, that's not the case. So, I mean, it'd be cool to see, but yeah, I don't know.
It's got nothing to do with them anymore. They've got to go and ask Capcom about the rights and everything. So,
well, they probably, I don't know how that would go, considering they've already tried to push a Mataras and another fighter. So,
yeah, I'd love to see that. And as far as like Star Fox Zero getting ported to the Switch, I think the chance of that is like no chance in hell.
It did do well enough.
It didn't do well enough, and its whole gimmick was really based with the gamepad. I know a lot of games were with the Wii U, but that one especially, how you're looking through a different screen in the cockpit and trying to lock onto enemies while you're looking at the TV and going, oh god, gotta put this up Wolf's bottom, bang bang, beep 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 beep. Yeah. So the next one, Bryce, this is an interesting one I never actually heard about, but this is from My Nintendo Life, and the title is Anti-RPG PlayStation title Moon arrives on Nintendo Switch eShop this August. And the article reads, Tokyo-based developer Onion Games, which previously worked on games like Little King Story, Chibi Robo, and even Super Mario RPG, has announced its a cult classic anti-RPG Moon will be released on Nintendo eShop next month on August 27th. This is the first time the game has been released in English since its original debut on the PlayStation in 1997. The title was already released on the Switch in Japan last year and went straight to the top of the eShop download charts. It ended up at the 7th best-selling game overall in 2019 on the Japanese eShop. And just watching the trailer, it's really quite an interesting game. It's kind of got a similar art style to what Mario RPG was, and you're going around sort of befriending the monsters, and you're leveling up by your friendship with the monsters. It kind of sounds kind of lame when I'm saying it like that, but it does seem like a pretty interesting thing.
Friends.
Yeah, so I'll leave that in the show notes as well. If you want to go and check out links to the trailer, go and check it out because it is from a developer, obviously quite close to Nintendo. With even Chibi Robo, I didn't realize like these were the guys that made that as well.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Bit of Pokemon Go news, Bryce. So this is from My Nintendo News, and this is what we can look forward to in the month of August in Pokemon Go. So the August research breakthrough encounters. So from Saturday, August 1st to September 1st, we can encounter Scraggy, or just Scraggy actually. The shedding Pokemon will be available as a research breakthrough encounter. And each week we also have Spotlight Hour. So on August 4th coming up will be Horsey in the Spotlight Hour. You'll earn twice as much candy for catching Pokemon. On August 11th we'll be able to catch Sableye, and you'll also you'll earn twice the candy for transferring Pokemon. On August 18th, Venipede will be in Spotlight Hour, and you'll earn twice the XP for evolving Pokemon. Tuesday, August 25th will be Geodude in Spotlight Hour, and you'll earn twice the Stardust for catching Pokemon. The Ultra Unlock is coming because of the sort of, peaks we hit in the Pokemon Go Fest. Yeah, the conditions. So what's currently going on at the moment is Dragon Week. You'll be able to encounter a shiny Dino, which I haven't actually gotten yet. Have you gotten one of those at all?
From the research tasks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten both of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't even done that yet.
No luck, though.
No luck, yeah.
You only get 2 encounters, and I didn't get it on either of them, so I was like, okay.
Cheese and whiskers.
Wheeze and chiskers.
Enigma Week will run from Friday, August 7th. And the featured Pokemon range from the mysterious Elgrim to the powerful Deoxys. Deoxys will be in 5-star raids. And if you're lucky, you might get a shiny one. You can also encounter shiny Staryu. And Unova Week will run from Friday, August 14th to Friday, August 21st. And it'll be... Who we got here? We got Swiddle, Cottony, Emolga, and Bouffalant, all originally discovered in the Unova region and will be appearing in the world of Pokemon Go for the first time. Bouffalant will be appearing in New York City and surrounding areas. So, don't know, is that just in America? I don't know if that's happening here or not. Genesect will be in 5-star raids, and if you're lucky, you might get a shiny one. So, and you also might get a shiny Roggenrola.
Ooh.
So, a fair few things going this month in Pokemon Go. Give you a reason to maybe log on and try and fill up your Pokedex a bit.
Yeah, but except again, they put in Cottony before they put in Petalil. That makes me very angry. It's always Cottony first with these things. I don't know why. It makes me so angry.
Well, I guess, with Cottony, I guess it's just a more popular Pokemon. It's been used in a lot of competitive for its Tailwind and everything.
It could suck Bernards.
Okay. We'll leave that to after the show, mate. So, just running with a few Pokemon stories. So, some new screenshots of Pokemon Unite has surfaced online, and it just basically shows off the trainer customization and what you can do, probably with microtransactions, I assume. Nothing actually too gameplay-wise shown.
Yay.
There were some screens of like the actual battlefield shown with some Japanese text around the place, but I guess I'm just saying this just in case you feel like if you're excited for the game and you want to see some more screens that haven't come out.
I really like me some Pokemon Unite.
I bet you do. And also with Pokemon news, so this is from Nintendo Everything, and Pokemon Virtual Fest announced for Japan a virtual Pokemon theme park experience starting August 12th. So Japan looks like it's getting a complete Pokemon theme park in a virtual space. The Pokemon Company announced today that it will be bringing Pokemon Virtual Fest to PC and mobile devices on August 12th. This will give people the full Pokemon theme park experience, complete with attractions, live events, and stores. There will also be seemingly a progression system in order to unlock new features in a challenge/mission mode. All of this comes with a teaser website and details the park attractions and shows the specifics of the experience. Screenshots of the virtual park have been included, so if you want to go and check out the actual official website, I'll link that in the show notes as well. You can just use Google Translate and it translates all pretty well. So it'll be interesting to see what this is. I don't expect like anything
special
or whatever, but especially since it's Japan only. So
yeah,
just a cool little tip. And it features Porygon because it's virtual. I like Porygon. Yeah. This was just a little bit of a funny tidbit. A lot of like the Nintendo blogs picked up on. So this is from IGN, and the title is Zelda Breath of the Wild's recipe accidentally appears in a historical fiction novel. Had you seen this at all?
No.
So a recipe from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has accidentally appeared in a historical fiction novel, most likely due to a Google search from the book's author. The Traveller at the Gates of Wisdom is the latest novel from the Irish author John Boylan, who you may know from his famous work The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, which was adopted into a movie in 2008. Yeah. A picture of the page from the novel surfaced on Reddit over the weekend, and the story was turned into a Twitter thread by writer Dana Schwartz. So Dana put on Twitter, okay, this is a thread, but I promise it's worth it. On Reddit today, the user, just a bunch of symbols, posted a page from the acclaimed Irish novelist John's latest book, The Traveller at the Gates of Wisdom. So what it actually says here, so the quote from the book is I employed a spicy pepper, the tail of the red lizolfs, and the 4 Highland shrooms. So he just used like the ingredients from the book. So
like literally dead on.
Yeah. As you can see from the embedded tweet above, the writer writes about the dyes used in dressmaking. He mentions ingredients such as octoroct eyeballs, the keys wing, the tail of the red Ziflov. How do you say that again? Sorry.
Lizolfos.
Yeah. So I'm just like trying to get it out of my mouth. It's not working. And the 4 Highland shrooms. Now this is where we heard of that before. As pointed out by Schwartz, it appears that Boyne has Googled ingredients red dye clothes and stumbled upon Polygon's How to Dye Your Clothes and Armor in Breath of the Wild's guide. If you replicate this yourself, you can see that the first ingredients mentioned for the Google search relate to in-game recipes from Breath of the Wild, which is where Boyne appeared to have sourced his information from.
Can I also make a note of the title? The title of the book is also very fitting. Like very, very fitting.
Yeah. Boyne responded to Schwartz's thread in jest, nothing that he will be telling this antidote on stage for many years to come. Boyne later replied to Schwartz, noting that he won't be editing it in the future revisions of the novel. I don't remember, but I must have Googled it, Boyne added. Hey, sometimes you just got to throw your hands up and say, yep, my bad. Boyne might be able to source a few new recipes when The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 arrives, although we don't know when that will be. So yeah, just really random. I don't just
it's strange as hell.
Just at one page where he's like, oh, just late at night, maybe just
how do I make red dye? Lizolfos thing. Yeah, that'll do.
Yep.
All right. That's yeah.
And just
spicy peppers.
Another just so random article to bring up as well is that just to wrap things up, and this is from Nintendo Life, the Lego NES has a super cool Mario Bros. Easter egg hidden inside of it.
Oh, I saw this. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you haven't already brought the assembled... so I guess this is spoilers. If you want to build and discover everything in this, just skip this. Because I was wondering whether I should put this in the podcast, just in case people want to build it and discover this for themselves. Yeah. So if you want to build your NES without knowing this, skip this bit. But if you don't care, carry on. Yeah. If you haven't already bought the assembled Lego Nintendo Entertainment System, there's a really nostalgic and cool Easter egg contained within a particular build that you need to know about. For those who have no intention of adding this kit to your Nintendo or Lego collection, read on. Located underneath a side panel of the system is a recreation of Super Mario Bros. World 1-2. It even features the Warp Zone section at the end, allowing you to jump to the head of the game. This article sources Brian O'Connell for his build from IGN.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, if you lift up one of the panels at the back, you can just see a recreation of World 1-2 with the underground level, which is really cool.
Damn cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really neat thing. Like you can see that every inch of this NES Lego thing is just like full of so much love.
Yeah.
Just put into it. It's really cool.
Yeah. Very cool on Lego's part to put so much effort into it. Did you see they made a big giant version of the Mario?
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, not.
They made a big giant version of the Lego Mario in like their, I guess their head office or something, with like the screen eyes and everything intact.
That's cool.
Yeah. Huge.
So yeah, the NES, it costs $350 here in Australia. Imagine how much they'll charge for that massive one if you could get your hands on it.
Yeah, a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But no, it was really cool to look at that, because I was just like, oh yeah, they're building a replica of it. That's cool. But then they actually went ahead and put like a big screen in it to replicate the eyes and everything. I'm like, damn, that's dedication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all the news this week. It was a pretty lax week. A lot of the time Bryce comes in and he says, oh, it's a real quiet week. I'm like, oh, it actually wasn't. There was actually a fair bit once you actually have a bit of a look. But this week, yeah, it actually was a pretty quiet week.
Yeah. I mean, I say that, I suppose, without like having too much of a squiz, because if there's big news, you'll
know about it.
It'll
Yeah.
rear its head, you know. Whereas everything else that sort of goes under the radar, it's like, a little bit of news there, but not too much, not enough to be like, wow. It'd be like Shigeru Miyamoto picked his nose this week, and then,
Ooh.
you reply,
Wow.
you're like, that's a big tidbit of news, and I'm like, not really. But we'll go with it.
It's in a museum now, and you can get your signature. You can go to the gift shop. You can get a nice replica boogie from Miyamoto.
Come see Shiggy, pick a stiggy. Only $2.99.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
All right, let's go to Reggie's rec room. Let's get away from this the brothel of the House of Mario. I don't know.
You saying you shouldn't pick his nose?
Reggie here.
No, he can pick his nose all he wants.
Thank you for your never
sorry,
support.
Yeah, sorry, man.
For giving me a mushroom kingdom full of incredible memories that I will never forget. Ever.
Well, thanks, Reggie, for the fresh champers, mate.
Delicious.
You're doing a good job back there, Reggie.
Oh, tastes good too.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. The vintage is like 2015.
Oh.
Sommelier, you see. I'm like, cheese and wine.
I'll be honest, Reggie. They really improved their drop in 2017, though. So maybe actually think about going to the local vineyard and maybe getting some of that. That's a bit nicer.
Yeah, make sure you get a Shiraz blend.
Nice Cab Sav mixed in there too.
I feel like a red would do us good. Just something a bit fuller.
Yeah.
Fuller. You've got to feel like once that hits the tummy, you can't shift your legs anymore. That's the point of wine. It's supposed to make you feel like your legs are numb.
Yeah, that's really what I want when I go out for dinner. Have a nice thing of wine. And I'm paralyzed. I can't move.
I guess I just eat more dinner.
That's what we do in Reggie's rec room. We just sit there, drink wine, and we can't move.
Yeah, and speaking of this, Reggie, he can't move either. He's sort of just standing there. He's waiting every week for you to press that button so he can pour a glass. And
he can't even talk. He's had that much red wine.
Look, I'll tell you what, you're living off the stuff over there, Reggie. I'm glad you found your niche in life with the wine tasting.
That's what.
With the wine tasting, but you were a company president for so many years, mate. There's probably time to think about just taking a break in general.
I feel like I feel bad. Like, imagine if like Reggie somehow came across like his computer or whatever. He's like, what the hell is this? And like, we're just basically accusing him of being an alcoholic. When like that is no further from the truth. What actually happened is Reggie came in, he poured us a drink, and said thank you very much. And he was that busy, he didn't even have to say, all right, I've got to go off. He's out the back, he's doing the gardening, he's doing the lawn. All we do is sit around here and talk. But he keeps the house going.
I just like to take a jab, I'm sure
absolutely.
Reggie can appreciate a bit of a jokey joke.
Yeah, well, I hope he can. But he's been working that hard.
He did work
have a
in
sense of
alcohol
humour.
for some time, didn't he? Like in a board somewhere,
I'm not sure.
Pretty sure he did.
Yeah, he worked in a lot of places.
I'll have to look that up now.
Yeah, well, look it up.
Yeah, I will.
When Reggie's rep room, let's really educate ourselves about Reggie. He worked at Pizza Hut and
Yes, he did.
got the Big Foot pizza competitive with other chains in the US and everything. It's very Very big time for Reggie.
And then he really tried to do the GameStop stuff, but honestly, that's going nowhere. next generation, those guys are going to really come down, and oh boy, yeah. Unfortunately for the physical error, it's really coming down. Yeah, he worked for Guinness.
Oh, Guinness,
Mate. Yeah,
nice.
yeah, he worked for Guinness Brewery. I presume on their board of management. What else? He worked for VH1. You know, Spin Master. He's currently working at Procter and Gamble, which rings a bell. Personal health, consumer health, and personal care. Panda management. And he did Panda Express as well. There you go, mate.
Oh.
You know, Derby cycle for bicycles.
What has this show turned into? I don't even know.
Worked for Nintendo for 16 years. You know, he really.
Oh,
found-
really?
Yeah, mate.
Shit.
Yeah. Let's see.
What's Nintendo?
Just a little. While we're on the talk of Reggie and alcohol, here's a little bit for you. It is one of the most successful alcohol brands worldwide, brewed in almost 50 countries and available in over 120. Sales in 2011 amounted to 850 million litres.
Oh, that's a lot of liters.
That's a lot of litres of
Yeah.
stout and lager.
I mean, at the pub we've got 2 stouts on tap, and a lot of people come in and they go, "Do you have any Guinness?" And I have to say, "No, we don't."
Do you have any Guinness?
No Guinness, no Guinness.
How do you say that word, mate? Is that Guinness or Guinness?
Well, in Australia, we actually we just chuck an A in there so we can go Guinness.
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 Manus.
Mm.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, enough about Reggie and his alcohol career at Guinness. What are you thinking for the Rec Room?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about even just leaving it there. We're at an hour already, so we can cap it off there, I feel like.
Yeah. Shoot the shit for a minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think like the thing is like coming into this week, it's, you know, for both of us, I think we've been very busy people.
Busy bees buzzing around. Bzz, bzz, bzz.
Busy bees, like just in general, and I think the last 3 weeks have been really busy because of school holidays and stuff as well. You know, so it's good to just sit around and shoot the shit. And like I'm, you know, that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what do you think is going to be the plan over the next couple of weeks for Nintendo, considering news is pretty dry?
Yeah. Well, that's the question. Like, just the video game industry in general.
Oh, it's shocking.
Like, you know, especially on the Xbox and PlayStation front, like we really need to know a date and release date so they can start, you know, pumping out pre-order information and that. Like, these systems are only 3 months away and we know nothing about it. So, you know, Nintendo's in a unique position where it's
holding a good spot.
Yeah.
Really.
Like, Animal Crossing's still going really well for them, and we're sort of just like, all right, well, this kind of sucks because there's no big Nintendo game coming out. But
they already have a ton of games.
Yeah.
You can backbone on. So
yeah, but as far as the other consoles go, it's like, all right, we sort of need to know how much this costs so we can start planning around it, whether we're going to actually get one or not.
well, I think this year's going to be pretty down the trough.
Down the trough.
Yeah, for like day one pickups. I feel like because of everything that's happened, there's going to be delays and all that stuff, and the consoles are going to come out, and they're going to come out with like 3 games to their name, and they're going to be like, but you can still play all your old games on it, and then it's just like, yeah, but I could play them on my old thing. You know, I don't really want to drop $800 to $1,000 on the console, then couple $100 on games just to feel satisfied in the middle of an economic crisis. And you're kind of just like, well, I could just stick with the Switch that I've got a backlog of. Obviously, that's not going to satisfy the same need, and I'm 100% in realizing that. But like, there's a bit of it, and especially on Xbox side, if you've got a decent PC, it's just like you don't really need to either.
Yeah,
realistically,
because I'm excited about what Microsoft's doing, but at the same time, like, I guess I am in the position where I am actually like building a PC at the moment. Not everyone's building a PC or has a PC, but like I want to play Halo Infinite. I want to play all the stuff on Game Pass. And while I sort of want the Xbox Series X because it will be more catered towards gaming and it will run games better than probably what my thousands of dollar PC will.
No, maybe, yeah.
I think it will just because it has it's able to do ray tracing and frame rates and all that. But
poo. Like ray tracing looks nice, but at the end of the day, I don't feel like unless you've got a setup that allows for a big 4K TV. Going to take up your slot of your eyes, and you're just like, I can see every pixel with every fiber of my being. I don't think it's going to really differentiate or make that much of a difference for the general populace of video gaming.
With my current TV, absolutely not.
No.
I bought my TV in 2013, and I bought it with the intention that Super Smash Bros. For Wii U was coming out, and I wanted like
a nice crisp,
a nice crisp TV which had good frame rate and had gaming mode and all of that. Whereas now, if you hook up a PlayStation 5 to my current TV, it's going to be like, all right, I don't notice much difference. But in September, Sony's actually releasing a few brand new TVs that are actually branded. I think it's something along like supported by a PlayStation 5 no, it's ready for PlayStation 5. That's the branding. So it's going to support up to like 120 frames. I think there's a 4K and an 8K option, which 8K is like just way out of what my budget will be.
But how expensive are they going to be?
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be very expensive TVs.
With that tagline on top of it, and not to mention the fact that, the other thing to really consider is those are coming out in September. They're not coming out at the same time as the console. So how much testing have they actually had to be like, this is going to be 100% the perfect TV that you're going to need for your PlayStation 5. I feel like that's a lot of very early money grabbing.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. But like my current TV, that's a Sony, and that works really well with the PS4. Like it turns on with your PlayStation just by turning it on. And these new ones, like the DualSense, will actually be able to control your TV without the PlayStation. Just I know that doesn't sound that much, but it just makes it real easy and convenient just to pick up your controller. And I actually started using the remotes in my the batteries in my TV remote actually went flat. So I'm like, oh fuck, how do I turn my volume up and down? So for the first time in years, I picked up the Wii U gamepad, and now that is my remote control for the TV. Because I've always had my Wii U hooked up, and my gamepad is just on the dock at the bottom.
Right.
So I'll just pick that up, and I press the TV button and change the channel and volume up and down. And I was actually controlling the PlayStation 4 with the Wii U gamepad because like the PlayStation 4 works with the TV remote because it's a Sony TV.
Right, yeah. And
the gamepad access the TV remote. So I'm like scrolling through the menu and everything just on the gamepad, and it was a really weird feeling.
I've started smart integrating my home.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Smart boy.
So I went and paid my Telstra bills and all that, and sort of gathered up points, and I got a 2-pack of Google Nests. So I'm just like, oh well, I'll chuck one in front of my computer in case I want to be like, Google, tell me the goddamn weather. I want to know whether I'm going to be able to get nice and tan tomorrow, whether I'm going to be as wet as a floppy fish, and we've got one in the bedroom, so it's just like whatever. And then I just went and bought an Android TV for the bedroom because my faithful TV that lasted me 10 years that my grandmother bought off the shop floor for me died. Ooh. And we haven't had a TV in the bedroom for a while. And that's just good for watching movies and stuff. So it's sort of just like, all right, go buy a Kogan TV, Android TV, sweet, cool. Play Android games on it. I was playing Final Fantasy 4 on it. I'm like,
legend.
This is funny. I hooked up my actual Steam Link to it because the app Steam Link is fucking terrible on TVs. I've found out unless you've.
Oh, there's an app for it. Oh my god.
For Steam Link.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steam Link, like actual physical Steam Links, have been discontinued.
Yeah. Okay.
So in favor of the app, but I like the physical Steam Links because they're actually made for the job.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine a TV having good enough sort of Wi-Fi to even keep up with it.
It's been pretty fine because I do all my Netflix and everything through my TV. Like, no problem whatsoever. And it's to the point where I can go, hey, Google, turn main bedroom TV on. It's like, okay, turning main bedroom TV on. and then it will do that and be like, hey Google, search Netflix for I guess the Umbrella Academy is what we're watching at the moment. It's like, all right, turning on Umbrella Academy, and then it'll come on, and then it'll be like, that's a touch loud. Hey Google, turn volume down. And then I'm like, oh, cool.
Crank volume right up.
Crank the volume right up to 11. But yeah, there's been times where Arthur runs away with the remotes, and then you lose them, and then you're like, God damn it, how am I going to be able to use my goddamn TV?
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh, I'll just use Google. And Google, can you please turn on the TV? Can't be bothered.
Google, activate TV now.
But it's been, it's been really handy, and it integrates with most apps and stuff like that. And it's just when you were thinking about my PS4, turns, a Samsung TV, like all TVs have started doing that with just about anything that powers on that's connected to it now. Like the Samsung TV that we had at the house in Rope we were staying in. I put my Switch in there because I'm just like, we'll play party games or whatever, and we did a couple times, but nothing too extravagant like people playing Just Dance or whatever. Yeah. And there was a time where I was like, I feel like playing an hour of Breath of the Wild or something. Nobody's using the TV. I'll do that. And then I just chuck my Switch in the dock, hold the home button on my controller, and all of a sudden zip zop back up like within half a second. I'm like, sweet. TV was off. As soon as I put my Switch in, it just come right back up, and it's like, here you go. I'm like, cool.
Crazy times. Times. TV's turning on. It's just phenomenal.
I think it's just the case of like technology's really getting ahead now, and I feel like going. I know it's sort of whatever, but I think Android TVs are pretty much the way to go these days. I feel like having all that accessibility with all those apps and stuff like that, they're really, really made for bigger screens, whether it be Twitch or YouTube or stuff like that. I feel like they're really well integrated into Android TV.
Yeah.
And then the fact that you can control everything with Google Home and home automation's becoming a bigger thing these days. It's really handy. It'd be nice to have like a garage roller door. Then it'd be like, all right, hey Google, roll up the garage door. It's like, okay.
It's like you're in bed. Hey Google, bring me my Nintendo Switch. I just realized we're probably activating like everyone's Google setups.
Hey Google.
Hey Google, show me a picture of a Dougal.
Ha ha! There we go. What about Alexa? Shh, Google. It's okay, mate. We don't have to worry about it. No, not the Wiggles.
What's going to play the Wiggles?
I guess it said that I said the Wiggles. I said no. Shh, Google. It's okay.
Hey Google, show me a picture of the giggles.
Of the giggles.
Does it listen to me?
Oh,
What it show? What does it have?
ah, yes, the giggles.
What the hell?
For context, there's just like some like chicken clown makeup with a row of really gnarly teeth with like blood dripping off them. It's like, yes, that's the giggles, all right.
That's the giggles.
Oh, that surely gives me the giggles.
Let's because I've got an iPhone here. You've got your Android phone. Let's put Siri and Google against one another. We'll say, hey, whatever. What's the House of Mario? We'll see what it says.
All right.
So, hey Siri, what's the House of Mario?
Just a tick. Okay, I found this on the web for what's the House of Mario. Check it out.
All right, so very boring answer. It just came up with our Twitter and stuff.
Okay.
It came up with something, Nintendo.fandom.com. It's just called Mario's House. I'm going to click on that.
Okay. Hey Google, what is the House of Mario?
According to 8-Bit, the House of Mario is a weekly Nintendo podcast
Fucking killed
that
it.
celebrates all aspects of Nintendo, games, community, and culture.
From 8bit.net too.
Yeah, cool.
So there you go. You're
I-
telling me Google's inferior?
No, I always appreciate how when you ask Google something, it tells you. Well, but with Siri, it's like,
I
hey,
found something on the web.
It's like, I don't want it. I just want you to get all the information and give it to me verbally.
I just want quick consumption.
Yeah.
And that's why like, the Google Nests have been handy at home as well, because it's kind of just like,
Just ask it something.
hey, what does autonomy mean, or some crap like that, just so you can sort of like quickly, conjunct words, like you're reading an article or something, and you're like, what the shit does that mean? So you say it. You're like, hey, Google, what does this mean? And then she just reads it out to you without having to go and Google what it means. You're just doing it verbally. Don't have to worry about it.
I mean, but Siri did help you find this. So this is on fandom.com, and this is the page for Mario's house. So Mario's house, also known as the Mario Bros house or Mario's pad, first appeared in the German club Nintendo series of Mario comics and was later featured oh god, I can't get the word out. Predominantly in the various Mario RPG games. So wow, that's a bit of background for Mario's house. Not the house of Mario; it's a very different place to where Mario lives. Mario
The
doesn't.
pad of Mario.
Yeah, well, Mario actually doesn't live here. To anyone out there who's just assumes that the house of Mario is where Mario lives, he doesn't live here at all.
No, Mario turned into the house.
Yeah, Mario is the house. We're inside. We're inside Mario.
That's what happens when you finally save the princess from every danger. He goes, I have done my work, I must go, and then he just turns into a house.
He just inflates, and we just walk into him.
And then it plays the music for him. He goes, do 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 do, and he wakes up as a baby somewhere and has to do it again from childbirth.
Oh,
With the stalks and all dropping on Yoshi's Island. He's got to do it all over again because he lost the game. You know, he lost his life. Got to start from a new one.
he's got to do it all again.
And just think about how many lives he's stocked up at this point. If you only need 100 coins to get a 1-up, as soon as he's earning wages, he's making like 26 1-ups an hour.
Wow,
That's a lot of 1-ups, you know?
that is an extraordinary amount of one-ups.
Yeah, that is a lot of 1-ups. 26 1-ups an hour. Imagine how many he has stacked up to the point where he's like, God damn, I just can't do it anymore.
How many one-ups does it take to buy Mario's house or Mario's pad? How much did he buy it for? How much do you reckon? How much does a house in the Mushroom Kingdom market go for?
Oh, well, it's made of a mushroom.
It is made of mushroom, yeah.
You know,
A bit more of a toadstool, really.
Yeah, but that sounds bad. Like, that sounds like you're chopping up toads. And
Yeah, well, yeah, but you're not. You're not.
converting them into housing structures.
Because how much did we buy the House of Mario for back in the day? It was like, 120 one-ups, really. It was a fair bit. But it wasn't too bad. With inflation, it'll cost a bit more now. We'll make our money back now.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? How many years ago now? How many years ago?
Years ago for what?
Did we pick up the house, obviously?
Oh, 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
Yeah.
You're saying we bought it at episode 1. We didn't do any renovation. I think we bought it a bit before that. You know? So
No, we just walked straight in and go, all right, let's discuss.
all right, cool. Okay, well, we'll go off your 3 years then, right? And we will put it under the assumption that interest rates climbed about 5.6%. You know, so you put a bit of interest on, you pay it off. We paid it off immediately because we're not stupid.
No, we're not daft.
No. At 5% of 120, you know, so you take that down to 10%, all right, and that's 12. So we've earned approximately 6 1-ups on the house.
Well, yeah.
So far, yeah.
Yeah, and that's 12,000 coins as well. So yeah, that's a fair few levels to get through, and make sure you're 100%. I'm getting all the red coins as well. That really helps with getting a home loan at the end of the day too, because the banks will look at that and go, you've 100%ed multiple levels, and you've gotten those all the Yoshi coins as well. They're a big one. A lot of points. The banks like points, especially.
Do you remember when blue coins were a currency?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, that's no longer a thing anymore.
They were so hard to earn. Like, you just had to find them. Like, do I go to work and earn just gold coins, or do I just look around the local parks and that and get blue coins?
Yeah, they might be hidden up a tree. There might be a conspicuous switch somewhere that makes you slide down into a bottomless pit to grab them. You never know.
Yeah, but I'm glad we finally, have our own house here, and we've got a very nice housemate and Reggie, and I think it's all worked out in the end.
Reggie's a pretty smooth dude too. Like, he pours a good glass of champers.
He does.
Good job, man. Yeah.
That's it.
Look at
Hi,
that.
Nintendo fans.
Smooth jazz.
Reggie's back.
Smooth alcohol. Yeah,
He's
he
gone.
has a slight bit of amnesia. Sometimes he walks in and he's like, I better play the theme song. The boys are here. And then he's like, oh, wait, I've already done that today.
Yeah, look.
And then he backs out.
And he's gone out the door, and here he comes. He comes back again.
Hi, Nintendo
Reggie.
fans.
All right, we
Mate.
get it, Reggie. All right, that's enough.
Thanks, bud. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. You know, we love you, mate. Yep.
We do enjoy his company. I don't know what the hell this episode's about.
It's not about anything, you know. It's just one of those dry weeks where it's
one of
just
those weeks, yeah.
Yeah, because we want to talk about things, but you know, with gaming being as stagnant as it is in terms of news right now, it's really hard. Obviously, we've had the big PlayStation event. You've already talked about that. We've had the Xbox reveal event. You've already talked about that.
I don't know if I did.
Didn't you?
No.
Okay. Well, all you really need to know about that is a new Fable is coming out after one being cancelled. Halo Infinite is looking pretty subpar to many people, and the devs have said, "Hey, it's kind of in a beta build. Leave it alone. We're trying our best."
Leave it alone. Leave Halo alone.
Leave it alone. We're trying our best. And then you had some, other things, I guess, that were there.
I really enjoyed the showcase, and
I thought it was good. But
I enjoyed it a fair bit, and I didn't enjoy it as much as the PlayStation event. But I think like with the PlayStation event, there's lots of games that sort of caught my eye, and I'm like, that'll be fun to play. But if you're going to go and get all the games you're interested in, it'll cost you like $500 to go and get all those games and play them, and whether you enjoy them or whatever, that's up to you.
Questionable, yeah.
But with this one, it's like, oh, I had the exact same thing. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. That looks interesting. But they're all on Game Pass, so you're actually able to dabble in all of them if you want to.
Which is going to be the magic about it coming in the next generation.
Yeah, unlike what PlayStation's doing, where it's like it's traditional, and of course it's like what Nintendo's doing as well.
I think that's almost a drive to support them this generation. Like, I feel like not that it's 100% the smartest business decision in the world in terms of money making on their side. You know, obviously they're not earning a shit ton of money off of Game Pass. They're sort of earning like a gradual income that like, they wouldn't be earning as much of on the big like release weeks where it's just like, bang, I'll buy that. But I really do support the kind of model that they're looking at, especially in current times where, a lot of people are losing their jobs and just want an escape. And, Game Pass is a little bit of money, but you get a whole library of games to do something with. It's not asking for, $60 a month or whatever you have, what have you. It's a flat payment in Australia. It's like $15 a month to cover both your Xbox and PC. And you get a whole library of games to sort of just lose yourself in if you're one of those unfortunate people that are just like, well, I don't have a job anymore. And I need something to do with myself until something can arise.
Yeah. Actually, this is something I've been thinking about like the last week or 2 weeks, whatever it's been. Like, I really do appreciate what Xbox is doing, and I will be, subscribing to Game Pass and getting a Series X and that, like, eventually, whether that's at launch or later down the line next year. But as much as I like what they're doing, I don't want the whole industry to shift to this. I don't necessarily want PlayStation and Nintendo to do exactly what they're doing.
I don't think you'll ever get Nintendo to do it, but yeah.
No, but like with the position Xbox was in, where they're like in real, they were in trouble, like, and they didn't really have the nostalgia and the franchises and the really talented developers to go against what Nintendo and PlayStation were doing. So a big move like this was really important for them, and it's kind of a move only they could have started off doing because of all the money they've got behind with Microsoft. But in saying that, it is going to affect how Microsoft's games are developed. Maybe not for every single one. Maybe like, what we've seen with Halo is that the multiplayer is going free to play, so that's a big shift for that series. Like Gears of War and Fable, they might be AAA games still, but a lot of the other games, like you can see like with Double Fine, they're sort of picked up them because they'll be able to put out more smaller games more quickly, and that's going to be better suited for Game Pass. And other ways like how they're going to monetize their games, whether it is through, just microtransactions or whatever it is, we are going to see ways of subsidizing development costs for those games. But with something like The Last of Us Part 2, like that is a game that took 5 years, millions and millions of dollars. PlayStation pumped that money into that game to make money back on the game, but also to make people buy the PlayStation 4, make people think about getting the PlayStation 5. And then all of the third-party games that are on that, they get 30% cut of every game sold on that. And that's the major way they make money on their platform. And that's the same case with Nintendo as well. Because you can see, like, without that sort of drive to make people go and buy that hardware so they can get their cut of revenue from all the third parties, I don't think we'll see like the big amount of money going into each game. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to sort of be a spectator of the games industry for the next 5 years, see where all this goes, because we did see this in the music industry too, and like, you know, the music industry was in just so much trouble. Yeah. So Spotify and Apple Music and all that was an important part of getting money back into artists' pockets, apart from just tours and that. But yeah, the games industry wasn't necessarily there, and apart from like mobile games, where it was a race to the bottom, and I think the subscription services like Apple Arcade and that have helped those sort of fragments of the games industry, because it makes developers feel, I guess, a bit more easy putting out quality stuff on mobile, knowing that people will play it and that they'll get a kickback from Google and Apple. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where PlayStation goes with this and in Nintendo. But
I think the biggest concern mainly is that how Microsoft is going to support this long term, because they're not going to be able to just drop it now.
No, that they are in it.
They are dedicated to it.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see how it gets supported in the long term. But it has been out for a while now, and there hasn't been any real general complaints about the actual service itself.
I can't believe it's been like 3 years. It still feels like it came out like a month ago.
Yeah. But I mean, the other thing to take away from it is it's actually probably more of a way for people to get more revenue off their dying game than anything.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Which is like, I think that is why it's so appealing, because it's like, well, shit, my indie game or this studio is like, well, my game is no longer on shelves, and it's just like, well, if we put it on Game Pass, we at least get like a steady stream of cash flow from that title anyway. And like, you know what? I think that's great, and it's a good way to keep older games rolling, not stagnate so much. Because something you'll find, you know, with something that's not, you know, first party or third party, huge developer, whatever, you know, stuff like maybe like Deadly Ponchos. Do you remember Deadly Ponchos?
Yeah, I do. That name is kind of familiar.
It was one of those first PlayStation Plus games that ever really hit PlayStation Plus when the PS4 came out. And I loved Deadly Ponchos. It was a really cool game. But its community is non-existent because, you know, it was a PS Plus game at some point. It is now no longer a PS Plus game if you missed the opportunity to grab it while it was there. And now all of a sudden, you know, it's hard to find people for that game. So there's no point anybody buying it because it's primarily a multiplayer game. And you're like, well, I guess that game's just dead in the water now. Now, if you put that on Game Pass, your friends and whatever, you've all got Game Pass. You can just be like, hey, I found this game called Secret Ponchos.
Yeah, and exactly, like, that's the way I feel about it. I'll be getting a PS5. I'll obviously always have a Nintendo platform. And now Xbox has really given me a reason to be with them as well. Like, I'll be getting whatever Naughty Dog's putting out on PlayStation. I'll be getting whatever Nintendo's putting out on Nintendo platforms. But now with the Xbox, like, if you want a multiplayer game, like, like, for example, if I'm playing something on PlayStation, I'm like, oh, do you have the latest Call of Duty? It's like, nah, I'm not really interested in it. All right. Do you have this game? Oh, yeah, but whatever. But on the Xbox side of things, all right, do you have Game Pass? Yeah. So, well, you look through your options. You got Sea of Thieves, you got whatever third-person game, you got Gears of War, you got Halo, you got all these games that you have access to. Yeah. And you can be like, all right, just download. And you can like play maybe 5 things that night. Just go through it on Xbox Live with your party.
Yeah, just smash it.
Yeah.
You know, just have fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big takeaway from Game Pass is that it does keep life in games that have gone past their expiry date. I guess, and a lot of those indie titles that are multiplayer only or multiplayer focused, really get a second chance again, and that's, I think, pretty important in general. Yeah. I mean, the whole you know, games with gold and PS Plus free games of the month thing, like, that does something for them, but it doesn't do enough for them.
Yeah, I mean, PlayStation Plus, like Rocket League is one of the biggest examples that game just got kickstarted with PlayStation Plus because of the instant install base. People were just playing it, and that's what multiplayer games need at foremost is just people playing it. So when you go into it, you've got people to play. We've seen multiple games on Switch that just didn't have an audience playing it just from the very start. What was that Mexican themed game like ages ago when you get shot and you get like smaller? I forgot what it was called.
Yeah,
off the top of my head.
I can't remember either.
Do you sort of remember what I'm talking about?
I do remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, and that game, it came out with problems at launch because it was a smaller team, and with an online game, people just dropped it straight away, and it died so quick.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, but if that game was, say, on Game Pass, and you find out a few months later that, it's actually good now, you can just jump back into it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And you can tell your friends about it, like, I'll download it. I never actually heard about it at launch, so I'll jump into it now.
Yeah.
And that's something the other two platforms don't have that Xbox has.
Yeah, which is really, really magical when you think about it. It's a good backlog of all this shit that people don't even think about anymore. And not to say shit as in like, it's garbage, but like just all these games.
Perfect Dark Zero. Oh yeah.
That's a thing. We could go back, and that's the thing. You download Rare Replay or whatever, and you're like, let's play some Perfect Dark Zero. That'd be weird and wonky.
The best bit about it is like something like Forza Horizon 4. Like that is a game I would happily pay for, and in the past I've paid for the second one and the third game in that particular series. And when that came to Game Pass, I just like go onto my Xbox and download it. I'm like, okay. It's just like such a weird feeling. I was like, I'll happily give you $80.
Yeah. And I mean, like, if they want to do that with their first party titles and shit, that's totally fine. I'm not going to say no.
No, I'm not either.
But I do think the primary thing of Game Pass is 100% down to that backlog of old games being permanent for like absolute one. Like if somebody jumps into PlayStation Plus now after 6 or 7 years of the PS4 being out, they're like, I'm going to finally pick up a PlayStation 4. They've got no PS Plus games. They've missed out on a huge catalogue of games that have already come to it.
Yeah.
Because they weren't subscribed for that month. But Game Pass is just like, well, as long as you've got Game Pass, it's pretty much going to be there. And the only time they're going to remove games is when people literally are not playing them or even bothering to try.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if PlayStation do take an approach where they're I guess they're doing a Game Pass situation, but they're not going all in like Microsoft and putting all their first party games on there. Like sort of look at Game Pass now, just without Microsoft's titles.
Yeah,
I wonder if they'll do something like that.
I think that's a day one move for Xbox too, though. Like I think their intention behind that is merely just, hey, you've picked up a Series X. Here's some games for you to play on it without any additional costs. There you go. Which will already stifle the price of, buying the Xbox One X straight up as in comparison to PS5, because the PS5 you're going to have to buy your games straight up. And it just looks a bit more appealing in the consumer eye. And depending on how these two consoles are priced is going to very largely, break that ball again. Because, I mean, it's already proven in the past that saving a couple $100 can and will make you, consider the other option. Because it happened with PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
So
do you feel like you're going to pick up one of these consoles this year or early next year?
It's hard to tell at this point. Like, I'd like to be able to do it, but at the same time, depending on what I'm doing with my own funds and all that, I think it's a very important discussion that sort of needs to come closer to the actual launch date and when we know the prices and when it's actually worth the time.
Say if someone says, all right, here's $500 to go and put a pre-order on at EB Games, which one would you go for out of the two?
Probably the Series X. Only because I know at the end of the day, if I pay for Game Pass, which I already am, I'm already going to have a bunch of games to play at launch. All good. I've historically played all three anyway, so it's not a huge deal. I would pick up the PlayStation eventually, but with that in mind, just having that Game Pass there, the fact that I've got that functionality between my PC and I'm such a big PC person, it just works out better for me. I do feel like Microsoft are making more consumer-friendly business decisions these days that may or may not affect my choice as well as it goes on, because I want to support good consumer decisions. So I feel like, that's probably where I'd want to go.
Yeah, I agree with all that. It sort of depends on what the launch lineup is. I feel like I'm pretty much even on both of them. But I guess the thing is, much like I'll always own a Nintendo platform because I love their games and you can only get them on Nintendo. It's the same with PlayStation. I'll probably never want to not own a PlayStation just because I really like a lot of their studios. Whereas I'm not necessarily attached to Xbox exclusives, but I am really enjoying their services.
I still feel,
which is a great reason to go and buy one.
I still feel like that's in a sort of like a hard situation anyway, because it does feel like as time goes on, PlayStation are still trying to break into a further market by delaying, with PC, obviously, you've got Horizon Zero Dawn coming, and that's probably where I'm going to play it. And I'm going to be dead honest with you, I have not ever touched that game. I'm interested in it, obviously, because it is like something I would probably enjoy. But I've never touched it because I'm sort of just like, I'll give it a pass on launch. I don't really have the money to do it. But no, here coming on PC, they've stifled that, delayed it back a couple years, and they're putting it out on PC, and I'm kind of just like, yeah.
Good time to jump on.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. And I think that's going to happen a lot with a lot of things as well, especially with Atlas releasing Persona 4 Gold on PC, and it becoming the #1 JRPG within literally a few days on Steam. And stuff like that. I think a lot of consideration is being done on developers' sides that are typically PlayStation exclusive, where they're just like, maybe we can benefit off this, rather than just being exclusive. Because that's the problem with exclusivity for third parties as well. Is as nice as it is having that brand recognition, like loyalty to a specific console, I think people these days just don't really care as much as they used to. Like, buy the PlayStation, you get Persona. It's like, Sony gives you a bit of money. But I don't think it's as important as it used to be anymore. And I feel like, if people are pissed off enough, they're just going to be like, guess I'll just emulate it then. And that's what they'll do. That's what they'll do, because, technology is more advanced and you don't have to worry about, not having the capable hardware anymore, because most hardware will run an emulator.
Yeah. And I know, like, with, PlayStation strategy with Horizon is put it on PC, and when Horizon Forbidden West comes out on PS5, they're going to hope that, like, some PC gamers might be like, oh, well, I really enjoyed playing that. Now I want to play the second one on the PS5, and I will buy the PS5 to play it. I guess that's sort of their thought, but I can see a future where PlayStation Studios is the brand, and they're just sort of wherever they need to be, similar to what Xbox is doing.
It is totally not going to be like that, because PlayStation players PC players are going to play it with a keyboard and mouse and go, wow, this is fluid, and then they're going to try it on PlayStation. They're going to be like, fuck me.
Playing Horizon with keyboard and mouse sounds... Ugh.
No, it'd be magical.
Oh, sure.
Freeform aiming. You get your whole hand to move your fucking aim.
Oh, yeah.
Pinpoint accuracy, it's difficult making pinpoint accurate motions with your thumb in comparison to your hand. So you get a nice pinpoint accuracy with your hand and very, very easily adjustable speeds.
Oh, you enjoy your adjustable speeds on your wrist.
Well, listen, hopefully you'll understand when you've got your nice big shiny rig there in a couple months' time, or whenever the fudge you're buying it, and you'll come to understand it. Come to understand it.
That moment may never come, or it might come very soon. I don't know.
I'm almost surprised you didn't just go and buy a big O.
Bigger O. What's a big O?
It's the Origin PC that's got a PC and a PS4 all in one.
Oh, that would be sick. That would be pretty sick.
Yeah. Surprisingly, in some cases, it's like, oh yeah, that's a cool idea, but because they actually have to take out a PS4 and put it in a case and whatever and stuff like that, things go wrong with the heating issues, and sometimes it doesn't work out. Like I can't remember who it was, whether it was Linus or someone, but they had one of them that would
It was
keep overheating.
yeah. I've watched the video. I can't remember now.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. I would like to see where the concept of that goes. Whether they actually do become their own PlayStation Studios thing and just not stress about where they're putting their games on the platform. Because I feel like at the end of the day, it's just going to be more money for them anyway. And I think they're starting to get that. They're kind of just like, well, we could just make more money out of anything we put our games on. Because, yeah, they could.
Yeah, because a lot of like for PlayStation and Xbox, obviously Xbox has proven this, but it doesn't really matter where these games are. But with Nintendo, I feel like they're like just the gimmicks or the ideas in their hardware are just so entwined with what their games are.
That's not going to change for Nintendo. Like Nintendo, ever since the Wii, has become a gimmick company.
Yeah, in a good way. I feel like. I don't feel like it's a
for
bad...
sure. Yeah, no, I don't think it's bad either. You know, the DS and the Wii were obviously both really big smash out hits to the point where they pretty much tried to go, here is the DS2. Here is the Wii 2. But it has a portable screen on it. And then they're like, yes, the DS2 sold well. The portable Wii did not. Let's translate that idea and put the Wii into a portable console with the ability to dock into a TV. So that's like combining our really successful handheld, the 3DS, in the portability aspect, and then the Wii in the Joy-Con motion control aspect. And it's like, yes, that worked, little Timmy. Now we have a successful console. It's the Pineapple pen.
Yeah, it actually is.
Like, I have a pen, I have an apple. Apple pen.
When you put it like that, it's like, oh no.
I have a pen, I have pineapple. Pineapple pen.
You know when all the news came out that they were merging their handheld and their console divisions together?
Yeah.
It's like you can imagine like Nintendo headquarters and like you zoom in and it's just the video for that song. I have a pen.
I have a Wii. I have a 3DS. Wii 3DS.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's the song.
Yeah.
You're not getting any further than that.
No, well, I was hoping for some exclusive lyrics here.
Wii DS, Wii DS. Wii DS.
No, I think that's a good place to end the show.
Yeah, I think we're stir crazy about it now.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you've gotten to this point, thank you so much, because this episode was one of the most I don't know.
I just think we needed to chat.
Yeah, just have a chat. Have a good chat.
Yeah. Not much going on this week. Just needed to.
Yes.
Out the mouth.
So everybody, thank you very much for listening to the House of Mario, episode 153. If you enjoy the show, you can leave a review on Apple Podcasts, and we'll read it on the show, which will be lots of fun. It helps out the show a lot, and we've been charting quite a lot in
Timmy has
in
a
recent.
Good butt. Yes.
Oh, Timmy, yeah. Oh, Timmy. And last week we actually charted in Chile in both the video game charts and the leisure charts, which is very cool. So thank you to, I guess, everyone who listens to us in Chile.
Hell yeah, Chile.
I don't know how many people listen to us in Chile, but if you listen to us in Chile, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and chuck that review on there.
Yeah, just chuck it on there.
Yeah, and even if it's not 5-star, we just want to hear from you.
Yeah, and we
You can put it at 1-star.
No, don't you fucking do that, you cheeky boys and girls out there. And we've been consistently in the Australia and Denmark charts, going up and down, up and down, up and down. We haven't left, so that's pretty cool. So if you'd like to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at @iDruby. You can follow the show at The House of Mario, and you can follow Bryce here at @IVRevan. And I'd like to thank our Patreon producers, Sam, Luke, and DJ. Thank you very much. I did forget last week. I'm being a bad boy. Bad boy.
You're the band, Drew.
Duh. But yeah, thank you guys very much for supporting us financially over on Patreon. Very much appreciated. Mm-hmm. And Bryce, of course, you can go and check out our Discord community and join the chatter in there.
Yeah, we got plenty of chatter in there.
Bit too much chatter, you know?
No, it's all been Pokemon Go the last few days.
It actually has been just like, hey.
Oh, let's go and raid us. Catch all the danger noodles. By the way, Holly, Jamie's significant other, Holly, caught a shiny Rayquaza from one of each of our raids, and that I am very upset about. Holly, give me one.
Yeah.
I demand it.
I think Jamie might be getting one before either of us plebs get one.
They were from our raids. The pain.
No, well, we did that intentionally. That's our gift to her.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah. Not to Jamie, just to her.
Just give two to her, none to Jamie.
Oh, beautiful.
So this week's Nintendo Jukebox is a song called, quote, Wii U was underappreciated. And it's a part of the album Nostalgic Beats 2. And it's by BKNAPP. So, very cool stuff.
Book an app.
Yeah. Is that how would you pronounce it just Bookin' Up? Or would you just do the letters? I don't even know with some of these names I read out on this goddamn show. Don't even know.
BKNAPP.
It's all in capitals, so, whatever. So guys, until next week, the doors to the House of Mario are closed. Catch you later.